All right, back in the basement again today to briefly talk about this Shorty Bar from Darko Lifting. Now, that name might sound a little familiar because I recently did a video on their Barbell Anchor, which is right off here to my left, which is actually housing my rep safety squat bar. So it's a great tool to get your barbells up off the floor, especially those weird specialty bars, which take up a lot of room. I'll show you some B-roll real quick, and I'll do a video on the rep safety squat bar and why I bought it probably later this week. But I want to talk to you about the new product from Darko Lifting, which is this Shorty Bar, which, truth be told, kind of reminds me a little bit of something from Jim Pin and Clever Built, but they had a baby. Now, if you're not familiar with Darko Lifting, Dave, the guy behind it, I actually know him through the Home Gym Discord, which I've talked about on several occasions on here, on Instagram. It's a great community for all things home gym. And I've really got to know a lot of great people and also access to some stuff that many people would not have otherwise. And I'm gonna link the Home Gym Discord in the description box in case you wanna join and talk about anything home gym related, not directly affiliated, but again, big fan of all things home gym, especially in the basement. Now, Dave, Darko, the man behind this, is in a garage and he's building these things by hand. So I don't believe all of the pieces are necessarily made in the USA. They may be. That tends to get cost a little bit higher, but I know for sure they're assembled by him, by hand, by himself in his garage. He's pumping out a ton of work, and I know that my video on that Barbell Anchor gave him even more because a lot of you guys seem to like that. I think a lot of you guys will probably like this as well. So as mentioned, it's like the Jim Pin version of this, and the Clever Built Atlas that I have had a baby. I say that because you do have the standard holes on here. You have 8 mounting points per side. There is a little bit of a bend in it if you're into that kind of thing. But that comes into play in just a little bit. But what you can do here is you basically put any kind of attachment, anything that attaches via carabiner on here, whether you have handles, posts, whatever you can think of, you can stick them on here and use them for lat pull downs, low rows, tricep work, bicep work. So nothing necessarily revolutionary about that, but what's really cool about this Shorty Bar is that it also has a mounting point for a barbell. So if you want to use this in a landmine, you can simply turn this upside down, and that's where the curve comes into play. The further you go out with that grip, the closer the actual handles will be to you. So if you're doing any sort of barbell work, this really comes in handy in that regard. And it was really unique because I haven't seen too many handles like that have that versatility function that can be used on both a pull-down machine and a landmine as well, besides the Clever Built Atlas, which I haven't done a video on that either, which I need to do. But really high material qualities here, which is really surprising, again, because it's a single dude out in his garage putting stuff together. And I've tried to put my own stuff together here in the basement, and it doesn't come out nearly as nice as this. You have some really nice black textured finish to the metal itself. You have some, what I believe is aluminum here with the Darko logo lasered cut in. You then have some acetyl plastic around it, so it's going to protect your barbell as well when you're using this for landmines. And it actually has a little bit of girth or thickness to it, which is really important when you're doing stuff in the landmine, because this is going to give you a little separation between the actual plates and this connector itself, so you can still get all your attachments in there depending on how crazy you want to get with it. Now for me, I've only had it one day, but I wanted to show it to you guys just because, again, I thought it was somewhat versatile and you guys really liked the Barbell Anchor video. But I use this literally today for pretty much everything from pull downs to seated rows to face pulls to tricep push downs to bicep curls. And that was only with one single attachment, where I have lots of other ones where I could work into this. So again, you can really open up a lot of possibilities for yourself without having to buy tons of different pieces of equipment. You could just get this in either a single pair of handles like I showed you today, or you have a lot of other handles and accessories that you'd like to work in here, you very much could do so. Now, in terms of cost of this, I believe it sells for $140 from Darko Lifting. I will link that in the description box below. Again, not affiliated, no discount code, nothing like that. Just something I wanted to show you guys because I thought it might be of interest. While that does sound relatively expensive, if you compare it out to the other stuff in the field, for example, I think the heavy-duty Jim Pin one costs like $125, but that does not have a mounting point for a barbell. Also with this, like I said, the main selling point is the fact that it's kind of assembled in the USA. It's a single guy out here doing this, so you're supporting a really small business in this case, but also you're adding a lot of versatility for not much more money than what's also commercially available. And I do like the look of this with the black and the aluminum, although I might paint that white at some point if I can get around to it. Like I said, my home gym projects don't come out as nice as some of this other stuff. But for $140, I can really use a lot of the attachments I already have and get a lot more versatility out of this. And when using this, because you're using independent handles, something like the Prime Fitness, for example, you can take into consideration. You can get a lot more movement while you're actually doing things versus a fixed handle like I've shown you in some of my other videos. The only thing you might want to watch out for is if you're using this on a cable pull down like I am now. I am a little bit taller. Most people in basements, unfortunately, have a little bit of a shorter ceiling. So I found I have to put my seat a little bit lower, but also take that into consideration depending on how many handles you're daisy chaining together or the total length of those. You might have to adapt accordingly. All I did in my case was just put my seat a notch or two lower than I normally do for my pull downs, and it worked fine. I still got a full range of motion on this, but wanted to show you this Darko Lifting Shorty Bar. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.